Hey guys, Nerds and Coffee Roundtable podcast number 26. With me today are three brand new members of the Nerds and Coffee crew. I do want to go ahead and give them an introduction, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to kick this podcast off old school style.
It's me, Roennev from Norway. I'm 24 years old, or I'm turning 24 years old the 10th of May. We also have the giveaway then for the Razer Death Adder, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Same day.
So, yeah, I'm here in Norway in Haugesund, or in Haugesund as Mav likes to say.
Haugesund, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, that's about it to say about me right now. So, I guess the next person over there.
To my left, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Still
my name's
the wrong way.
Kage, over here from Monterey, California. Everyone would know that probably is where the PGA tours happen, all the golf courses and stuff like that. I am 27. Get over to Decrypt.
Alright, and Dekryption here, 21 years old, from the beautiful Corona, California, where it's always sunny and always really hot, even though it's supposed to be cold.
And guys, you all know me. I've been here since day one. Mav. I am 30 years old. I feel like the old man of the group, and it's alright. Music you're hearing in the background right now is Powerlifter, their song called Buffalo. Now, that song came out a couple years back, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't heard anything from them, so if you listeners have heard anything about this band and have more information about them and any more music from them, please let me know, because I am a huge fan now, and I'm going to try to let them know somehow, some way that I use this music video and their music for this podcast. Well, I don't know where to start, guys, but basically what's going on here is we've done a little bit of a reorganization for Nerds and Coffee. I mean, it's basically bringing the hardcore nerds, hardcore geeks, hardcore gamers all together to collaborate, to do something special for our community and other communities. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means a little bit later. Roennev already explained a little bit about it, but we're going to go into further detail later down the road. On my screen to my right, is our webpage. It is nerdandcoffee.com. That's an A-N-D coffee this time. And with this webpage, we also have an application coming out for iOS devices and Android devices. It'll be free, of course. And when it comes out, we will definitely let you guys know, so you can go ahead and download it and stay up to date on any kind of nerd news that we wanted to go out there. One of the best things about it is that all of our new YouTube videos, because we're going to talk about this too, they'll be posted here. A little bit of information. Our podcast will be posted here. Any information that we want to put up, obviously, will be here. So it'll be your Nerd Central. So without further ado, let's get into this week's podcast. All right. So first things first, Hotmail, guys. I mean, I know y'all have heard it. It's dead.
Yeah.
It is gone.
Sadly, yes.
Yes. It is all gone. It's a
I
very...
haven't used Hotmail in many years, so for me it's been dead a long time.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is that I've never used Hotmail. But I mean, it's been a mainstay. I mean, Dekryption, you've used it though.
I've used it for a long time. I can't even remember my first Hotmail account. It's been a while. Then they brought out the live service, and I switched over to my current personal email, which is at live.com, which most people would use, I guess, for the Xbox 360 for their live service. And now they're completely canceling all of those and just going straight to Outlook.
How do you like the new web app though? The new Outlook web app, is it pretty clean?
I like it. It's very simple. The Hotmail/live.com interface was just your generic email client, I would say. But now this new Outlook, it's very clean, very simple, really easy to maintain. I just see an issue of people who don't know the switch is coming because I'd never received an email about it.
Yeah.
Was people are going to be confused of what happened to my Hotmail or my Live account? Why is it now Outlook?
So now, question. Now, if you had one previously, is the email change, like the end of it is changing to say Outlook now, or what is?
No, my two emails, one at Hotmail and one at Live, are still accessed the same way. Even though I sign in through the Outlook service, it's still at Hotmail or at live.com.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
It's just a client then that's changing for
It's
them.
more of a client side, but I think now if you register, you still have the option to do a Hotmail, a Live, or now you can even choose a at outlook.com email address.
Okay,
Yeah, actually with mine, like I have live.com, right? You know, my regular email, and I got an email from them saying that I also have my email address at Outlook. Like it's already set up for me, and I can just go in and sign in if I wanted to use that one or not. One of the things that I noticed about the actual Outlook web app is its integration with your social services such as your Facebook, your Twitter. I don't know if Google Plus was actually in there. I know Facebook and Twitter for sure. I think LinkedIn and some other very popular social media sites, which I guess it puts it. Honestly, like I never used Live. I'm sorry, Hotmail. I never used Yahoo. Almost for as long as I can remember, I've probably been a big fan of Gmail, and I've always used Gmail. And before Gmail, it was AOL. So I was on the AOL bandwagon, way back in the early 90s, to late 90s, and I kind of just stayed with it until Gmail came out. And when Gmail came out, it really, like, that's what took me away from my, Asian Abercrombie. I can't remember what it was. An Asian Abercrombie boy. Asian Abercrombie boy at AOL.com. Come on,
I was
I know
Viper.
I know all you guys had one of those email addresses.
Oh yeah, that's what I think about when you think about Hotmail.
Yeah.
Just think about like you don't want to give your Hotmail if you're at a job interview or something because it's always something like Gamer Explosion Pro 250K, something like stupid like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I never wanted to give that in the first place, though, because it just never seemed official. Giving someone Hotmail, like, that sounded so inappropriate already that I could never see myself using that email address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always like like I remember like always seeing like usernames or email addresses like hot cutie 420 all day. I'm like what is that? What does that really mean? What does that really mean?
Yeah.
All right.
I just checked this as well. You can actually still choose now if you register for a Hotmail or Live or whatever. You can choose Outlook.com, Hotmail.com, or Live.com still.
Yeah,
You still have the choice.
and the interface, like I was saying, is so intuitive. I mean, it's really nice, really clean. If you're into that, like if you're a fan of the Windows 8 look, and I was skeptical about it, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was skeptical from going from my Windows 7 Ultimate to Windows 8 Professional. I was very, very skeptical. I was kind of scared, honestly, about doing the change. But when I did it, and after like the first 3 days, I was pretty impressed, man. The Metro UI it wasn't as intimidating as it looked at first. It looked kind of not useful, but now it's really useful to me, and I actually enjoy it a lot better than actually clicking the start menu, scrolling up, trying to find all these different little addresses or whatnot. I know Dekryption's used Windows 8. You have a Windows 8 tablet at Asus. Really nice, really nice. Has Roennev, have you or Kage, have you guys used Windows 8 yet?
No. I was thinking about getting it, but I'm actually just scared about the change because I like the way things are now. I would rather have Windows XP still, but
Wow.
yeah.
Windows
Yeah.
XP had a lot more compatibility when it came to running things. You didn't have to worry about all this.
Yeah, but when you went to Windows 7, you just had to run it as administrator, and it'll still run it as XP. But
Yeah.
Without further ado, who wants to talk about the world's smallest flying insect robot? I don't know about you guys. That's
Those
interesting.
nanobots.
Yeah, the BBC actually reported this on the second. I guess what, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. These little flying drone bots are like the size of a penny. So what do y'all think about this?
Interesting technology. It's
Yeah.
getting real small. Soon, privacy will be a real big issue for the common.
Yeah, but not only privacy, but if you think about what military can do with this,
That's
Oh yeah,
exactly right. That's
just
exactly right.
launch a rocket with nanobots, and you can destroy a whole town, and just okay, town is destroyed, deactivate, and they just fall to the ground. Done.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, honestly, like Decryption said it right off the bat. Privacy.
Hmm.
I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to be able to know these things. It looks like a little gnat. Like it's something that I mean, if you live in Texas like I do, that's common. That's common every day. It's just flying in your house. You wouldn't even care, and it could be recording your whole life, what you're doing. That's what's scary.
You
That's
do
what
have
makes me nervous.
cameras that are the size that go on your glasses and stuff like that. There's lenses that small.
Well,
There's
yeah,
no reason to believe that you couldn't put a camera on one of these bugs and just fly it around anywhere, any
Yeah.
restricted little area.
yeah, and we're going to talk about just that right now. Actually, Kage, good segue, man. Google Glasses through ZDNet. Like we're gonna see this guy. He is in the shower. He is wearing his Google Glasses. I mean that I don't know, man. That really, if that's what it's gonna look like on launch day, um, with that big like little like camera looking thing in the top corner, y'all see that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be more inconspicuous, not this big old like gray box looking thing.
No, it looks like you have a camera. You can
Yeah.
tell if someone's wearing the Google Glass. That's how we're like, hey, that guy's got Google Glass already.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think it currently helps to what I related earlier with those nanobots was its privacy. Because if you make something too hidden, it becomes once again a privacy issue. There's still privacy issues on the internet. People are really scared of certain things. This way here, it gives Google kind of a, hey, you know what? It's not really all that private because you're looking at a camera, as you can tell. But in a way, it's still kind of like spyish because they are on glasses, which is still impressive.
Yeah. Well, up in Seattle, they've already banned them. There's this one bar that hit the news pretty big that they banned Google Glass a year before the release date because they don't want that kind of ability to record what's happening in their bar.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously you'll have that same outcome with your local strip clubs and stuff like that, as well as casinos and you know, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a supporter. I like the way technology is advancing, and it's improving. It's it's interesting, to say the least. Sooner or later, I mean, think about it this way, guys. These glasses, virtual, like glasses that can have heads-up display in your glasses.
Augmented
Um,
reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Minority Report, Tom Cruise. Remember that?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's where we're going now. We're so close to
Yeah,
being
just
exactly at that
swiping
point.
things. And I mean, look,
Yeah.
like the new Galaxy phone. You can just swipe over. You just swipe your hand over it, and it's flipping through pages. You can flip upwards, and it scrolls
Yeah.
up for you. I mean, we're
Isn't it
getting
even
there.
like if you close your eyes while you're having the phone in front of your face, doesn't it even like shut the lights off to save energy
It
as long as
can,
your
yes.
eyes are closed?
And
Yeah.
if you look away from the phone, like if you're watching a video and you look away, it'll pause the
Pause
video
it,
for you.
yeah.
Yeah, as well, you can actually use your eyes to flip the page upwards and down, like scroll up and down, like you're supposed to be able to. It's still not perfected technology, but it's out there. Like that little nanobot.
Yeah, it's just
it's
getting
out
better
there.
and better.
Yeah, and I'm sure what's funny is that, you know, I'm sure there's much more or more advanced technology out there that uh, obviously as a regular Joe Schmoes as we are, we don't know about it. I mean, yeah, CIA, FBI type of stuff. That's all under wraps. I'm sure there's
To
much
touch
cooler
on
stuff.
that, Google, the lead guy behind Google and a lot of the Google phones actually said like the technology that we're seeing in phones now is nothing. It's a penance to what this actually exists. He said that he's not impressed by any of this because in a year's time, they're going to start bringing out these phones. It's going to just blow our minds with the technology advancements they have. Right now, they're just pushing out the technology they've got backstock. Like, it's just, whatever. And then in a year or so, it's going to be like bam, this is the future. That's what he has,
Yeah.
and like I can't wait to see that stuff.
It's just like when Apple released like the iPhone, with this changes everything.
Hmm.
That it was so new with like the touch display and everything like that.
Because it did, yeah.
IBM,
Yeah.
yeah, I no, but IBM had already like released phones with touch displays, stuff like that, and that was in like what early 70s or something, when IBM was at the top.
I don't know about early 70s.
They already have that stuff.
They did. IBM did actually release a iPad like long
Yeah.
before the iPad actually came out, like in the early 2000s. I want to say late 1990s, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't ready yet. The market wasn't ready for it. And
Yeah, I
so
think it
when
was
the
called,
Apple
like, the
came out,
Palm or something.
yeah, something like that.
Palm Pilot,
It was
something
actually
like
pretty
that.
sick.
So-
To touch back on the
Technology has been there.
glasses, like there's safety issues as well that people aren't really thinking about with this, and I would like to touch on that if anyone has anything else to add to privacy.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Let's go.
Okay. What I'm really worried about with this, like I love this idea, but if you think about now with people like walking around looking at their phones and then driving and looking at their phones, now you've got someone who literally has their computer like up in the top right of their field of vision at all times. And so like if someone's driving and they're checking their email like looking upwards, that is going to create so much of a hazard for people while driving. Or they're like, "Oh, I should record this." And they start trying to record while driving, and it's going to be another thing that takes away from people's attention in everyday
Yeah,
life.
but that's when I think we're going to start seeing like car companies adding a feature to the cars. Like if you're wearing the glasses and you get into the car, it will deactivate most of the features, and you will only be able to use voice commands like record this, and it will start recording if you want to record something. It won't show the display or anything.
Yeah, I
just for
understand where
safety.
you, and here's the thing. I understand where you guys are coming from in regards to the safety hazards and stuff. However, I would much rather somebody have like Google glasses on, their face, and checking something there instead of having a phone looking down away from the road, because at least your line of sight is still within the roadway. I mean, I'm not saying it's safe at all or giving it a nod of approval saying it is safe, but I'd feel more safe with somebody having their line of sight still on the road instead of looking down at their phone in their lap. Now,
Yeah, but if you're concentrating your sight on that tiny display in the corner, you're not paying attention to what's happening on the road.
right.
Then you're in that screen, so it doesn't matter if you look down or if you look up towards the road. You're still not paying attention.
Yeah,
Right.
most people's peripheral vision though will get better glance to the side because you're looking at the top corner,
Yeah.
and your road will be now to your side a little. Instead of looking down, your up peripheral vision is not as good as your side peripheral vision.
Right,
So
right.
it's still like I'm with Mav. It's better than looking down at a phone because most people now are hiding their phones under the steering wheel because it's illegal in most states now. If you get seen with a
Yeah.
phone, you get a ticket.
I think it's only
Oh.
illegal in Cali, bro.
Well, I live in California, so I mean,
We're in Cali, so
California
one
is
of these
illegal everywhere
numbers.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but like I just think it's better to be looking a little bit up to the right when your peripheral vision is still optimal instead of looking completely down at your phone.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well, like from what I understand, after looking at some of the videos for the Google Glasses, a lot of it's voice activated. So while you're driving, it's like read me text or show text, and like it'll be like kind of like in front of your face. And I think like when South by Southwest was here in Austin not too long ago. Oh, it's only in Austin, but when they had South by Southwest not too long ago, Google deployed out several hundred people with Google Glasses to test it out in real time, real environment scenarios or scenarios, however you want to say it. Now, what happened here is they were able to collect a lot of data as opposed to did their actual up to the minute search engines work. Now, my question was, did these glasses hook up Wi-Fi? Did they have to have like a mobile receiver? Like say you had to have like an Android or some kind of cell phone device with you with Wi-Fi on, or is a Bluetooth hookup to your phone? Like that stuff like I wanted to look more into that Probably should have did it before the show because we were going to talk about it,
Yeah.
but I didn't look into
I
that.
saw a video of that actually, how they do it.
How's it hooked up?
What they have out now. Like Kage said, he's seen some people with the eyeglass already.
Yeah.
That's the experimental one. You could pay $1,500 for it, but
Wow.
it was only for a certain amount of people that could get it. So what I think they did, like the micro SIM cards
Yeah.
they have now, it's you get a dual SIM card, and you use that in your eyeglass.
Mm-hmm.
So it hooks up with like 3G or 4G depending on where you are.
So it acts as a replacement phone in a sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it would do.
Like
that's how they
PS
get the connectivity.
Yeah, like how the iPad or the PlayStation Vita use the SIM cards to connect to everywhere internet. I would
Yeah.
see it just the same thing, just a little SIM card.
Huh.
Yeah, at least that's what they like said in that video that I saw.
All right. Now, this is something that Roennev brought up to me not too long ago. It's called the Oculus. How much do you know about this, Roennev? Like, did you do some research on this yet?
I've seen a couple of like
The
videos
videos,
of
right?
people trying it out.
Yeah.
There was a Norwegian gaming like what you call it, gaming channel thingy.
Yeah.
Tried them out. Right now it's really glitchy and stuff. So
You think so?
Well-
See, there's this YouTube channel, and I'm gonna when I find the video, I'm gonna post it in the description comments below for when this is posted up to YouTube. But they were showing this guy use it, and I mean honestly, you're not gonna be able to see what he's seeing because they're supposed to be on your face. You're supposed to be immense into the game. So if you could see what he was seeing, there's no need for him. So with all that being said, they were showing this guy play this game, and he's going through it and like his reactions, and I mean these are pretty like guys like me, you, and Kage and Dekryption, and just their reactions and like how they were utilizing it and how it looked. Like the technology wasn't that impressive to me on how they did this because basically all it is like this. Right in front of your face. It's just like a little square in front of your face, and there's like a little LED or LCD screen inside there. And then there's like these two little bottles, like it looks like little Coke bottle lenses that go from each eye onto the screen, what kind of makes you
but
feel like you're
that's
in
just
it.
in the developer kit though. So
That was
that's
you
just
saw that
this far.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah.
Right? So now the new Oculus VR is supposed to be something a little bit different, and this is it right here, guys. But basically, the reason why we brought this up is because the future of gaming, at least to me, is right here. I mean, yeah, right now, like, I want three 27-inch Cat Leap monitors, 1440p, amazing, great displays, but you're not even going to need monitors soon. You're just going to slap these on your head, you're going to be inside the game, and it's going to be not like, when Nintendo had that virtual reality. Remember that, guys?
Virtual Boy. Oh,
Was it the
man.
Virtual Boy?
The Virtual
The
Boy.
red,
yeah.
the red screens and everything.
Oh my god, that gave me
God.
such a migraine. I was a kid. I was like, "What is this junk?"
Yeah, first you need to get it on your head, and then you need to like find a place to put the put the rack.
Stand.
So it
Yeah.
the stand. It was
I-
awful.
Yeah,
It's
I
impossible to play
personally-
that.
Always loved VR. VR has always been to me that thing that I've reached for and hoped for in gaming. So when I see this, it makes my heart aflutter.
yeah.
I'm hoping for this.
Dude,
Go ahead.
and I'm very excited, just like you, man. Like, let's throw some movie pop culture in here. Brain Scan. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, come on! You
That's
haven't
an
seen
old movie.
you haven't seen
I think
Brain
it's
Scan?
like many
I
years
think
ago.
so. Give us
Oh.
a little bit of synapse. Give us synapse.
All right. What was that kid's name? Eddie Furlong. Edward Furlong was the main actor. Basically, he's a gamer, PC gamer, whatever gamer. He's just into this game, like big gamer kid, right? Always wanting the next greatest game, like the more intense, like put you into the game type of game. So he gets this game called Brain Scan, and he's playing virtual reality. Like he puts the game in, puts the headset on, and Brain Scan kind of like walked him through like this murder scene, and like where he was the murderer, And so as the murderer, like he's like, oh my god, it's so realistic, and he's like, oh, it's just a game, and something had happened like where he went to his like I don't know if it was his refrigerator or something, but he found like a bloody glove or a body part, and then freaked out, and he's like, no way, it couldn't have been real. And so, long story short, the movie goes on. He ends up killing a couple more people because of because of this game, and then the game had a personality. It was a weird movie. It wasn't a big time deal, but Eddie Furlong was in it, and that was during his heyday, when it was kind of
I'm
like
very sure I have seen this movie. I just don't remember.
yeah,
it.
it's like right before Eddie Furlong was like I guess right before the Leonardo DiCaprio stage for a lot
Yeah,
of
I
people.
think I saw the movie like many years ago, but I think I only saw it once
Yeah,
on late night TV, and I just don't remember it that well.
that's homework, guys. I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna have it on the Plex app so you guys can watch it later. And
Yeah.
just to
It's
brush
a
up
fun
on it.
movie.
Yeah, I mean it's always cool to watch movies like that are from such a long time ago.
There was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
stint where there was a lot of movies like that, like Lawnmower Man. I'm pretty sure was kind of like that.
Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah,
Demonic.
Yes.
remember Johnny
That's
Mnemonic? Yeah.
Can I say one more thing about the Oculus real quick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Like, when looking at the Oculus and looking at gaming as it is, as a culture and just as the scene as it is now, people are having to realize that we've reached such a plateau when it comes to graphics. Like, we can get things running at higher frames and it looks a little bit more smoother, but it's not like when we came from, like, Nintendo, came to 64, came to Xbox. Like, you're like, oh my god, look at these graphics. Especially now that we're transferring over to the Durango, the 720, or the Xbox, or not the Xbox, the PS4, people are not going to see that kind of jump in graphical quality. So what
Yeah.
is going to have to happen is they're going to have immersion. That's why you see all the Kinects, the Wii U's, like things like that. It's like gamer immersion in that experience. That is the next step in gaming. And you look at something like the Oculus Rift, this could be a complete game changer because it will put you into these games. It will have that low latency, so you're looking around and you will feel like you were in the game. And that is why this is such a big deal.
Since you brought that up, I want to talk about that Xbox 720, and one of the reasons why I want to talk about the Xbox 720 is because you talked about immersion, and let's see if this VentureBeat article says anything about it. Here, $15 billion video game industry is up against blah blah blah. Let's see. No comment on rumor and speculations. I know me and Roennev had a discussion about the Kinect 2.0 and how basically some of the games are going to be what was it, Roennev? Like it's not just going to be on your screen anymore. It's going to also be on your walls. It's going to be on maybe your floor or above your
You guys
monitor.
are talking about the
Yeah.
Illuma Room technology.
The Illuma Room. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
All right.
What's up with that Illuma Room technology? What do you guys think? Okay, let me ask you a question.
All right.
And this is, I guess we're going to pull it out between us four. Are you excited about the 720, Xbox 720, or the PS4?
Roennev, kick it off. You're on the left.
Start us off.
Yeah, I never actually been a big console gamer. The last console I had was Nintendo 64 because I wanted to play Pokemon Stadium.
Oh,
Amazing
Yeah.
game, by the way. Love it.
Yeah, missed that game. And like, if I was gonna get any console again, it would be the PlayStation, I would guess. 'Cause I just don't like the Xbox for some reason. I don't have any good reason for it. It's just I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay.
I would prefer PlayStation.
Hey, that's fine.
yeah. I mean, you can just say,
so
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Kage.
All right. Now, I personally have always been a game collector. I own every single console that's ever been created except for the Wonder Swan Color and one other console that I can't think of right now. The CDI. I don't own the CDI. I also was a manager at GameStop, so I was always collecting all the new consoles. So for me personally, I would get both consoles. No questions asked. But if I had to choose one, right now, I would still lean more towards the Durango or the 720. The reason for that is that 360 did me well. There was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of games, and I spent a lot of time with that console. So
Mm-hmm.
I have almost a loyalty built up towards it. The PS3, it's good console. It has a lot of features where you could say like in a home entertainment kind of setup. But for gaming, the Xbox has always been better for me. And I'm a little jaded because they took away Linux. I'm one of those kids that never actually updated my PS3 after they took away Linux. I still have Linux to this day on my PS3. That's like a 2 or 3 year old paperweight I've had because I'm
Now,
butthurt.
See,
now
that's something I didn't know. I didn't know they had a Linux on PlayStation.
they didn't. They didn't.
Back,
You couldn't.
uh,
It was
You could
a long
install
time.
it. You were able
yeah,
to install it. There was an option that says install other OS, and that was the only OS you could install at the time was Ubuntu Linux or just Linux. Now,
Yeah.
Okay.
now let me ask you a question, because I had Linux on my PlayStation and it was absolutely horrendous trying to
terrible.
run it. It was so slow. Like it was really like, and I didn't mind. I upgraded it or did the update and everything. Did you really like using Linux, or just for the simple fact that they took it away?
Um, a couple reasons. This is really silly because it's in a sense it's just an object. But there was a time where I didn't have a computer and I was
Right.
still going through college, and so the only thing that was the saving grace for me was the fact that my PS3 had Linux. And so
Ah, okay,
I
okay.
used the Linux on there to write papers and even learned how to code a couple things on Linux. And
Nice.
so I gained an affinity for that. And then all of a sudden they were like, there's a glitch that so you can bootleg games and stuff through Linux. And instead of patching that hole, they're like, we're just gonna take it away. And then I was just like,
Yeah,
no, I actually like it there. And
yeah.
so
It was mainly because like what happened was is that one of the main reasons why they took away Linux, it wasn't that there was like a little problem. It was a really big problem
yeah,
because basically like you could get any game that came out and have it run on your PS3 system and still bypass the whole internet part and still be able to play online. Because like say um, you didn't have a physical disc, right? You just had the burned copy,
mhm,
or the copy of the actual the e file or whatever. You could still play it, and you weren't supposed to be able to do that at that time because the PlayStation Store wasn't doing any games. But the Linux side would trick the PlayStation software to do it, and that's why it became a big homebrew, pirating, like the whole thing. That's why they did it, and
right,
and I understand that. It's like even with the PlayStation Vita when it came out, like in the very beginning you couldn't do you could do a whole bunch of stuff with it, and then they realized like, oh my god, people were just being able to download anything they wanted, and not like it was free. Like they were losing a lot of money. Now I'm gonna give my answer last. Decryption. What do you think? 720, uh, PS4, or just strictly PC?
For the outlooks of right now, I don't know if you can see the mess behind me over here. It's just some clothes, and underneath all that is my two consoles, which is the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. I pretty much own the Xbox 360 since it came out. I've played it pretty much until like just a few months ago. For me, I would choose if I had to get a console, if there was an exclusive game that was console only, non PC, I would have to go 720. The only reason I bought the PlayStation 3 was pretty much peer pressure and Blu-ray. People that I knew on Xbox no longer wanted gold, so they switched over to PS3 for its free online connectivity. So out of peer pressure, because I wanted to play with my friends, through Call of Duty, Battlefield, all that, I bought the PlayStation 3, played actual gameplay of about probably like a week's worth, and it turned into a Blu-ray player, and now is just on the floor collecting dust.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that. I mean, like, I think most people actually ended up buying the PlayStation 3, not even to play games, but because of the Blu-ray player. Like, if you remember, Blu-ray players were kind of expensive. I think you saved like you would spend $100 more for a PS3 Blu-ray player than having a $200 regular Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
Now, the
that's it.
the biggest
Go
the
ahead.
the biggest deal between that was because on the PS3 system, it was an upgradable Blu-ray player. Like you can update it. Like so, every time they came out with Blu-ray, 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.4, you could update it. Those older Blu-ray players weren't able to. So once a new Blu-ray, um, 2.0 came out, your old Blu-ray player just became obsolete, and now you had to go buy new Blu-ray discs. So they
Yeah,
really screwed over a lot of people,
oh yes.
and having to go back and get a whole new Blu-ray player just so they can watch their Blu-ray movies, which is ridiculous. Go ahead,
hmm
Kage.
Another thing was the PlayStation 3 offered once again the internet connectivity for free, which accessed a lot of people to things like Netflix, YouTube on their big screens. Uh, what else? They had like a few music services. They had their what is the Sony Music?
Sony
Was it
Unlimited.
Sony Unlimited? Yeah, they have you have access to that if you have an account.
I think they
Which
have
a
Steam big screen as well now.
Yeah, the Steam like that. But like back then, PlayStation 3 came out. A lot of Blu-rays were either pure wired or no internet connectivity, and you had to do the updates through a USB drive.
Hmm.
So the PS3 brought out a feature which allowed people to have a wireless home entertainment system that not only did Blu-rays, did gaming, but did online streaming. You had like Facebook app, Twitter app, so it brought the social media and everything to your big screen in your living room,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which is which is where the PS3 kind of took off, but the Xbox immediately right away brought out the same
it
Facebook.
was right away. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna,
immediately.
I was gonna
So
get there.
it's a good the PlayStation. Once again, I would go 720 just because I'm more of a Microsoft fanboy. But in all honesty, I probably will not buy either one of those consoles because it's becoming to a stage where it's just a PC in a neat form factor with controller supportability, which most games nowadays have controller supportability on PC, but you got to be keyboard mouse all the way
I was going to
Yeah,
for
touch
some
on
definitely.
one thing
games.
that he just mentioned. Just as he just said, controller. Look at this. Look at these. Like, this is so much easier ergonomically with your fingers as well. Like with this, look at these thumbs. Look at this. They hit each other. When I'm playing with the PlayStation controller, my thumbs hit each other when they're trying to move around, and that is annoying. So that's another reason Xbox wins.
Yes, the Xbox controller for me is more comfortable, more easy to use. I have the same issue with the PlayStation because the PlayStation controller I have my Xbox here. On the Xbox, they're I don't know if it's concave where the analog sticks are dipped in, so your thumbs rest in them. While on the PlayStation, they're domed, so your thumbs slide off. My thumbs always hit, bumping each other. I never liked the PlayStation controllers ever
Well, that's
since
like a
the
workout. If you use PlayStation, then you work out while you play
yeah
because you need to
right.
hold your thumbs up. You know,
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
thinking of everything there.
Yeah.
Work out them thumbs.
Uh,
Yeah, I've never liked the PlayStation controller even since PlayStation 1.
yeah.
I don't like the PlayStation controllers either. So
Yeah. On a hindsight, the way I feel about it was Xbox from not the Xbox 360, but Xbox, regular Xbox. When that came out, they introduced the first pretty much online community. I mean, you had Halo, which was a phenomenon at the time, which basically brought people into like this whole realm of social gaming, and that was the game. That game alone kind of like ignited the whole playing online, in a community where there's other people. I mean, just basically like the whole
Halo 2, yeah.
competitive aspect about being able to play against your friends, no matter where they're at in the world, at any time, was something that really got to me, and you know, I've been probably an Xbox guy since then. Now, it goes a little bit further. Yeah, they do charge you the what $10 a month at most, I think right now, to be an Xbox Live membership, right? But the community on compared to both systems, to me at least, um, was much more solid. Actually, almost three times fold to me than the PS3 was, because you don't always get voice support in all the games on PS3. Only like the major games you do. Some of the games, like you can't get it unless you paid for the premium feature through the PlayStation Store. Um, on the other side of this, the other side of this boat is that say you have 10 friends online, you're playing a game by yourself, and you just kind of want to just play that game. You don't want to play whatever everyone else is playing, but you still want to chat with them and still talk with them, on the console. Xbox
Yeah.
allowed you to do the cross game chat, so you can be playing Pac-Man and they're playing, Tetris, but y'all are still talking in the same party, which I thought was pretty ingenious. You still can't do that to this day on PS3.
You'll never be able to because they don't
Yeah.
have the RAM set up for it. The
Yeah.
Vita, which is the most random thing, the Vita does.
Yeah,
You can cross game on Vita, but you can't cross game on PS3.
Yeah, I have 3 Vitas in my house, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I know the party app on there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if I do go for another console, it's gonna be the 720, and I will buy a 720. But as opposed to actually playing games on the 720, not so much. It's just gonna be a media box for the living room, as opposed to now seeing the light as it is. PC gaming, in its own has really taken off in the past couple of years, to the point where hardcore PC gamers from Counter-Strike days and stuff, and even before that, were preaching this tone like PC gaming, PC gaming, PC gaming, and I kind of brushed it off for so long until um, I finally buckled down and spent a couple grand and built the monster rig, and actually got into some games and realized what I've been missing. Like, I mean, honestly, guys, I mean, you guys know. I mean, y'all play. Y'all do it.
Yeah, it's like me and you have discussed a couple of times in raid call and stuff as well. That I'm not a console boy, but if I want to play a console game, let's say for N64 or Xbox or whatever,
Mhm.
I can get an emulator for that and
Yeah.
just get a controller that's compatible with my computer, and I can play whatever games I want on my computer instead of having 100 different systems laying around.
Yeah.
You
But
know
then
what's-
again, you can never beat like the Super Nintendo connected to the old TV, like with the controller and that feel you get with the sound and the resolution and everything. You can't beat that, but still,
Right.
you can do everything with the PC.
It's interesting. Matt touched on this actually a little bit. Like he said with Halo 2, 2004, when that came out, there had been like PC gaming, Counter-Strike, all those different games had been doing online gaming and LAN gaming for so long
Mhm.
that they were never grasped upon by the community, by the media. Media had never done anything with that. But the second Halo 2 came around, and all of a sudden all these tournaments picked up, and the media was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" Even after a while, ESPN had Halo 2 on there. They had
Yeah.
the actual show. USA also had one as well. People started recognizing this as an esport.
Yeah.
Well, they started recognizing esports in general. And so, even though console gaming has kind of like started teetering down, you see what like League of Legends, Dota, all that stuff. Now they have $1 million contests and $1 million tournaments. It's like all that before opened the door to the PC gaming that had already been there. But it like
Yeah, esports
helps
wouldn't be
cement
what
that.
it is now without consoles. That's just because like when a console came out with Halo, and because that's something new. PCs have been out forever,
Mhm.
and then comes a new system and people starts paying attention. It's just PC gamers, when we played like Counter-Strike and stuff, we had our own like community ourselves. We didn't reach out to anyone. We played the game, we set up our own tournaments, got like random sponsors from like the towns we lived in, and we just set it up ourselves. That's how we did it with like Counter-Strike 1.3.
Nice. Let's see here. Now, as everybody knows, there's so many different rumors. There's so many different speculations, and very little truths. What we do know is there's going to be a console coming for both Sony and Microsoft, and they're going to be updating. And as history shows, they pretty much destroy what the previous year model, previous Xbox or previous PS3, what they were. Now, here's a question, and Kage touched this earlier. for the simple fact is, how much better can graphics get than they are now? I understand they can get better. We know this, but are they going to get to the point where, the next Xbox 720, yeah, it's here. If you notice, like, it took how many years for Kinect sensor to come out, and then when Kinect came out, it was actually a really good add-on device. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a Wii at the first, because, Wii came out with the first innovative idea of using motion sense gaming. Then you had PlayStation come in with their PSI toy or whatever.
Yeah, the Move or
The
what
Move,
is it
yeah,
called?
the
Yeah.
Move. And then you have Xbox coming in with the Kinect, which honestly took those two technologies and took a dump on their chests. Pretty much what happened, with the Kinect. I just remember watching a video of a boy in his living room playing a Tony Hawk skateboarding game, and just standing there and doing skateboarding tricks in his living room. But that was during that time where there wasn't an actual skateboard accessory, and I thought that was dumb that Tony Hawk brought out a skateboard accessory for his skateboarding game. Like, it should have just been a Kinect game. You just did the tricks with your feet instead of actually trying to do something with a board. Because that was just dumb. Like, as a real skater, me skateboarding like almost my whole life, that was just dumb. They should just like let you do pantomime the feet motions. But what do you guys predictions here is going to happen with the 720 and the PS4? Now we see the Oculus Rift. Okay. We see that it has a platform right now, which is going to be PC platform. Do you guys foresee the Oculus Rift being adapted to either PlayStation or Xbox? And who do you think would get it first?
Oh, I think that's if they want to make their own Oculus Rift type glasses, I think it's gonna be Microsoft for some reason. But if Oculus Rift would get a monopoly on this, I think it's just who pays the most to get it out the quickest. And then I think it's going to be Sony.
I was going to touch on, I would still say Microsoft, not only because, Microsoft, they do a lot of the leading edge gaming, as a gamer would say, but they also run all of the Windows. They would end up pushing that towards their, window games or games on Windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They would end up pushing it to there because they have now the technology. They have all, they would, I wouldn't say by patents, but they would have instructions on how exactly the technology works, even though I'm sure they have something up their sleeve already. But where I don't really see the consoles going in that direction, what I see is the media output. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a 3D technology, which the consoles already have. You can already play 3D. I think what's going to change is not the consoles itself. It's going to be how we view the console's material. So our environment will change, which is where that Illuminate room comes into play. Accessories are going to be the next step forward. Our monitors will become different. Every day our monitors become thinner and lighter. The new OLED monitors that are like a few pieces of paper thick. And
you can just take and roll it up in a,
it's flexible.
in a cone and just take it with you.
It's flexible, it's durable, beautiful resolutions. We're getting to resolutions that are 3-4 times better than 1080p, which people right now see as the standpoint of high definition.
We're getting 4K. 4K TVs
we're getting into the super high def, or SDH is what I've heard it referred to as. I think it was CES 2011 was SHD. I don't see consoles will just be outputting their high quality graphic games with 3D compatibility, and everybody else, I'll just throw a few names out there like Samsung or LG, they're going to be the next step forward in true gaming. Or in a computer sense, a monitor company like BenQ or Asus, they have to bring out the new peripherals, which are going to lead gaming in a whole new direction.
Now, here's what I'm looking at this. It's interesting because it would seem like it would be the best guess to say that Microsoft would pick this up. Because, one, games with Windows. They've already got all the same major games already on the Windows platform with Oculus Rift is running on. So theoretically, like all the big names, like the new new Call of Duty Ghost or the new Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. That's already going to be on PC, so they can already start putting in things that would use the headset. However, as Dekryption just said, they have the AlumaRoom technology, and that will be a direct competitor for their AlumaRoom technology. AlumaRoom, for those as we haven't touched on it now, is going to take your monitor screen you have now and expand that gaming experience past that. It's going to be on the walls, it's going to be on the ceiling. It's going to have two different features, or well, multiple different features, but the primary ones are going to have ambiance, where it shows like maybe snow falling around you, like around you in the room,
Yeah,
or it's
yeah.
going to literally expand. Like say if you're in a shooter, you have this peripheral right here, but then you have like the buildings and everything else to your left and to your right on your wall, like expanding that field of view. So that like,
Yeah.
and that's insane. But
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
that in itself competes with the Oculus Rift, which, as you remember, even though Xbox does do 3D, PlayStation was the thing that truly supported like 3D. PlayStation and Sony have always been something that supports like that new kind of edge technology, throwing stuff in there with 3D, with Blu-ray, because Xbox tried to go with HD DVDs and stuff later,
Yeah.
and also.
Here, I think it's funny that you bring that up. Actually, when I got my 3D TVs, I didn't have a PlayStation 3 yet, and I had my Xbox 360, and at that time, Call of Duty Black Ops was fairly new. First Black Ops, not the second one, but it was fairly new, and I was kind of going through the options. I didn't know it was a 3D game, and that was my first 3D game experience was with Black Ops. Playing a zombies map. I think it was Call of the Dead. So it was already Call of the Dead was already out, and having a 3D TV, turning it on to 3D and playing it in 3D. Now, when I got my PS3, um, I went and rented some of the games and bought some of the games that had 3D stamps on them, like Green Lantern, Captain America. Those are 3D games, and they were horrible. I mean, yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops for PS3 looked exactly the same as it did on the Xbox. The only game that I can say that really looked nice that PlayStation put out to date, and I don't know about any other ones because I haven't tried really, but was I want to say it was MotorStorm. MotorStorm was a very amazing game for 3D. I mean, like I just remember like seeing like cars just kind of shoot by me, and you would have never seen that graphic if you didn't have a 3D TV. So even though like, I wasn't a really big race type game person, that was cool. Now we are running out of time, so I want to go through some of these next topics pretty quickly, but we're still gonna give it a little bit of time. I mean, guys, we've almost been here for an hour. Did y'all realize that?
No.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna touch base. Call of Duty Ghost. I guess Infinity Ward is gonna be abandoning the Modern Warfare namesake. I'm not sure if they're gonna abandon it. Maybe it's gonna be Call of Duty Modern Warfare, uh, co-op mission Ghost or something, or covert mission.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Ghost.
You never know. You never know, man.
I think they're going with the Black Ops name there because the Ghost would fit more in the Black Ops team setting, because it's going to be like more of a stealth team.
Yes.
They have a
Is what I
contractual thing for each year that Activision gets to make one, and then Infinity Ward gets to make one.
Yeah.
So
So,
this year is Infinity Ward, so it would be Modern Warfare 4's Ghost,
yeah.
or just Ghost.
Yeah.
So-
the only reason I would consider Ghost being part of the Modern Warfare is because in Modern Warfare there's a character called Ghost, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
People are saying that
It's gonna
as
be
a
his-
troll on the internet, it's either going to be a step forward in the line of the story with having a ghost around you if you're like a haunted, or it's going to be ghost gameplay throughout. No, I wouldn't say through the first original Modern Warfare's, but just his point on certain parts of the.
Yeah,
the
it's gonna be his point of view. That's kind of what I read it earlier. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be for the next generation consoles. Well, it's gonna come on 360, PS3, PC, and next gen platforms November 5th, according to the BGR Board Genius report. So done with that. Now, let's see here. Amazon. Amazon actually accidentally leaks world's first small screen Windows 8 tablet. Remember, guys, these are tablets, you know, as such as your iPad or your Google tablets. However, these are also really mini computers. These aren't just like your regular iPads or, Google tablets. These are actual mini computers. Um, Dekryption can attest to this. He has one right there next to him. He has a 12-inch.
Yep.
I think this is going to be the 8.1 Acer Iconia, which it shouldn't have been leaked, but Amazon kind of foobarred that one up. And now we know. Now we know there's going to be a smaller one. I don't know how they. I mean, I guess I can understand, using one of the small mobile RAM, technologies, but that speaks a lot, dude. Honestly, that speaks a lot for Windows 8 and how light it is. Think about it. Like, you have a full operating system and an 8-inch tablet.
Yeah, but then again, Windows 8 wasn't made to be for like a desktop computer. It's made to be a tablet operating system.
Well, it was made in conjunction to be a tablet operating system because it is a full-blown desktop. Like think about it this way. Like these tablets, like Dekryption's tablet right there, he can hook it up to an external monitor, and that'll be his computer. Yep. And he'll have the same functionality features that I do on my computer right now with Windows 8. And yeah, that's what made them really crazy. Is that think about this.
Yeah,
look. The first slates, like when Microsoft introduced the slate, and they're like, oh, it's a 32 gigabyte. What you didn't know is that 16 of those 32 gigabytes was the operating system. So you only got like a six. I think you only got like a 14 gigabyte free space. So everyone's like, oh, that's false advertisement. We're gonna sue you. Whatever.
That's where they get you,
Well, it's the same thing with when you buy an iPod Touch, you get a 32 gig. You only get 28 gigs of open or any Apple product.
Yeah.
Because that's the size of the hard drive, but they don't include the iOS.
Exactly.
My tablet,
I bought my iPhone with 8 gigs and thought that would be like, it's more than enough. I'm just gonna have a couple of songs and stuff. But then they start pushing out those updates, and I just see my space decrease and decrease and decrease and decrease for every single update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just wondering what's gonna happen when it's enough updates to fill up my whole phone with just updates.
It'll be your next update is a new iPhone.
That's why you gotta go. Yeah, that's why you gotta go with a 32 gigabyte, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna send that one to me.
Hey, shipping.
Like my tablet here. My tablet here next to me. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
It's 64 gigs. It runs. I currently just installed. It had Windows 7 on it. It comes with Windows 7. I installed Windows 8 just to test it out.
Can you pop it up? Can you show it up?
Yeah. So it's just the Asus. I don't remember the name. If I can get it to load. So it's just Windows 8, basic Windows. If I can bring it up. So yeah, I love Roennev. I love you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
So it's a 64 gig. Don't save. It's a 64 gig, but I only have, if I'm correct, I think the operating system takes up 8.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only 56 gigs of free memory, which is fine. I just use it pretty much just to browse the internet when I'm laying on the couch or just in bed or something. Because most of the time I am sitting here on my desk, or not on my desk, but in my chair at my desk.
Yeah.
Everything is on my main PC. That is just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have Reddit on the go, bro.
Oh yeah, the Redditing app, amazing. Anybody out there using Windows 8 needs a good app. Redditing, 100% guaranteed satisfaction.
Yeah, I have to gloat about it. I did show him this one. Actually, he showed me. He introduced me to Reddit.
Him Reddit.
And then he
introduced me to the Reddit app. Yes. So we
what
help
is actually Reddit? I just
Reddit it's just a community.
Click on it.
Like, I wouldn't call it a forum. It's just like you can upload your own pictures, your own stories. If you want to update your own news, you can do that. You pretty much just post whatever you want on the internet under subcategories. There's a category for gaming, a category for Diablo, a category for Diablo 3 gear tags, a category for Warframe, which is the current game I've been playing lately.
So is it like a family-friendly version of 4chan?
It's not family-friendly, bro.
It is bad sides, just like 4chan. But
Yeah.
4chan is just more of a
slash
image
R
board.
and something nasty, and you can get whatever you
Yeah,
want.
you can get whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
still
Okay.
the internet, sir. It is still the internet.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course. All right. Last but not least, and this is actually the last article we're gonna go through, wrapping everything up. It is the plans for fully 3D printed gun go online next week. So, for those of you that have that nice $5,000 to $10,000 3D printer, this is the actual gun right here that you can make from it. I think it shoots a little. I don't know, what is that? A 22? What is that? That's not a 22. It's
It looks smaller than a 22.
yeah, it looks a lot smaller than a 22. But this is the gun, guys. It shoots a bullet.
I think their release prototype is going to be a small caliber just for safeties, but they already have like an AR-15 shooting. I think it was like a normal NATO rounds, 150 round mag, solid burst, fully auto, or
Really?
unlimited burst. Yeah, and it survived. Most of the time they would get about 50 and it would break or it would fail. But their latest video, which they pushed, they had a 150 round ammo drum on it, and it went through flawless. They were able to disengage everything, and be able to do it once again without any problems. So
Yeah.
I think right now they're releasing like the more smaller ones just for safety, just because I think they're still testing out their bigger guns. But you will be able to print out your own, pretty much AR receivers, and then just purchase. Because that's the hard part, is the trigger mechanism is what you need the licensing for. Everything else you can buy online. The stock, the barrels, everything is pretty much, as long as you have money, you can buy it. It's just
So I'm guessing
the
I'm not
receiver.
moving to America in the near future then.
Yeah.
Everyone running around with plastic guns.
Well,
Yes.
okay, now look at that. Like terrorism. I mean, come on. I mean, we recently had that whole, Boston bombing. We had, over 10 years ago was the, September 11th. Now, this is plastic, you know? You can get this on anywhere and not send off any red flags. Look at that thing. It doesn't look like a gun.
Like, if you get the specs for it, you could go to one store that has a 3D printer and get them to print out one of the parts,
Mhm.
and then just do that in different stores, and they won't get what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You just go collect the pieces, boom, put it together, you have a gun.
Not even
Yeah, but-
that. When I actually was part of the robotics club, we had a 3D printer there.
Mhm.
We could print as many of these out as we wanted, and no one would know anything.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as you had the materials, you could print it out. That's how it was at the community college here. They have one as well. As long as you pay for, you want to buy a bucket of the what is it? The
That,
material,
polymer?
the polymer or something. As
Yeah.
long as you have your supply, you can print out whatever you want.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
check. So it's gonna be a touchy subject,
Yeah.
but it'll be interesting to see where this goes in the future. I'm
My
really
question
excited.
is, seeing as it does include a nail, and this is going to be my own ignorance right here, and I'm
Does
probably
it?
going to get flamed on the internet everywhere. Will a nail show up in, like, if you walk in a metal detector?
Oh yeah, of course. Well, it
Okay.
depends. Well, okay, look, there's sensitivity levels on metal detectors, so you can have it set to, because like, if you ever walk through and you're actually wearing a belt and it doesn't go off, you're like, oh, why didn't it go off? I have a metal belt on. But sometimes you'll go through a metal detector and that metal belt will go off. It's sensitivity levels that are either raised or lowered, but depending on where you're at. So like, say you're going into the airport, they have the sensitivity level down lower so it doesn't detect small items like that, because you still go through the full body scanners to check for anything else, but to keep the traffic going faster, they do that. Government buildings, full blown, high sensitivity, so if you have a filling that's metal, it's going to go off,
Yeah.
so it's really sensitivity levels. So that nail, that acts as the bolt to actually ignite the gunpowder and the bullet. So I understand that now. There is metal parts. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I was wondering how are they puncturing the this
Yeah.
thing to make it actually shoot. It makes sense. All right, well that's it, guys. There's a 3D printer, not 3D printer, but 3D printed guns, and you can get your own plans online next week. Now we're gonna talk really, 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 really quickly about the top 10 top all-time apps for iPhone and iPad. And I just want to go down the list because I know everybody knows exactly what these apps are and what they do and everything. And it actually goes through 25 for the paid and 25 for the free. And I'm not going to go through the iPad. We're just going to go through iPhone because they're the same exact applications, just a little bit nicer on the iPad. So we're going to start from the bottom. Sims 3. I don't know why Sims 3.
It's even on the list.
Yeah.
Well, you
Why?
have to remember the original Sims is, I think, when it came out for a 5-year span, was the most grossing game ever.
Yeah.
Was the original Sims. Sims has a really big popularity. It does not help though that when you purchased any version of Sims 3, whether it be console or PC, I think you got a free iPhone or iPad, or pretty much a free iTunes download for Sims 3, which is also helping boost that number.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
I actually downloaded the Sims 3 for my phone. I played it for 5 minutes and I deleted it. It was that bad for me. I would rather play it on PC than on my phone because it's not Sims 3. It's just a downscaled, shitty version.
No, it's the
yeah.
original Sims with nice graphics.
Yeah.
Color Splash. Number 24. Color Splash was a very breakthrough program. I mean, make a photo black and white and just add a little bit of color here to make it pretty nice. Good app. Minecraft Pocket Edition, number 23. You guys play that?
That's
I haven't
surprisingly
played it on my
low.
phone.
You have it on your phone?
No, I haven't played it on my phone.
I find it low because anyone who's playing Minecraft is going to just play it on their Xbox or especially their PC.
Or if they're on the road. That's why, I mean, it's for people who want to still play Minecraft away from the home. I was wondering if Dekryption played it, because I know he played some Minecraft before.
I played about 1,000 hours with Minecraft on PC. So I tried it on both iOS and Android. The thing is, it doesn't meet the satisfaction to normal Minecraft on PC or now Xbox. So that's why I can
You're
see it
used
being
to all of the features from
the customization,
Yeah.
the servers, everything. Minecraft Pocket Edition is very basic, very simple. Didn't really like it.
It's just like Minecraft early beta.
Yeah, like
Just
alpha.
blank space, just put down the brick and you're done.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. We're going to run through these next ones pretty fast. Uno, number 22. 21, Scrabble. 20, Skee Ball. That's actually one of my favorite apps to this day. I have Skee Ball too.
Yep.
Motion X GPS Drive. I thought that was the worst GPS app on the actual auction house. Jesus, Diablo, speak. GPS on the actual app store. Angry Birds Star Wars, number 18. Didn't like that
Isn't
either.
that one recent though? The Star Wars one.
Just came out,
and it's
yeah.
still
Yeah,
it
so
started-
that's climbed its way up fast. 'cause
Yeah.
It just came out not long ago.
Oh yeah, man.
And that's just because it's the Angry Birds name.
Yeah.
So
And
people
it's
gonna
Star
buy it.
Wars. Yeah, well, it's Star Wars that made it that
And Angry
popular
Birds.
too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Monopoly comes in at number 17. Draw Something is number 16. Where's My Water? Number 15. I don't even know what that is. Have y'all heard of that one?
It's
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
Disney game.
Okay. Oh, it is. You're right. I know
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Now I know what it is.
Yeah.
The
It's
more
pretty fun, kind of basic. It does get challenging. It's not a bad
Problem
game.
solving.
yeah. The Moron Test is number 14. Game of Life 13. Plants vs Zombies 12. Pocket God number 11. Have y'all messed around with that one before?
Pocket God, yeah. Once again, interesting. It's an element-based game. I play a lot of games, by the way. It's element-based. Like you start off with I think 3 or 4. If you mix like water and fire, you get steam.
Mm-hmm.
Which then you can then mix you get dirt as well. If you mix like water and dirt, you get mud, and you can mix like dirt and steam to get like a hot spring. So it's very interesting. So you get a few basic elements. I think that's the game I'm talking about, and you spread it across to make all
God
these elements.
simulation, in other words.
Yeah. I thought it was blasphemous. I couldn't. Oh man. So then there's Angry Birds Space number 10. By the way, Angry Birds hits this list 4 times for the top paid. Tiny Wings number 9.
That's a pretty fun game.
I like that. You hold it down
Yeah.
and jump up. Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Words with Friends number 8. Camera Plus. I actually bought that because I used to use my iPhone for a lot of camera apps until I got my new camera. Number 6. WhatsApp Messenger for the people who, for some reason, didn't want to pay for their text messaging services through their carriers. They used this, which is kind of funny. It worked.
No, but it's pretty good to have it if like at work, many people there are from Poland and Syria and other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they get WhatsApp and they can text each other for free
Yeah.
to their families like down in Poland and stuff. So
Oh,
it
okay.
saves them a lot of money.
I'm guessing
Like
if you use
if you get it as well, or you guys get it, I can text with you for free.
Oh.
There's
You
also
see?
been a big thing with phones, like using SIP-gate and stuff like that, which allows you basically through a Wi-Fi, through digital, you can actually make phone calls. And then if you can make
Yeah.
phone calls for free, then this will give you your text messaging for free, and then thus you've got yourself a free cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah, you
We.
just get yourself iTouch and you get WhatsApp on it, and you
And
have
it turns
yourself
your-
an iPhone.
As long as you have Wi-Fi connectivity, which most people do nowadays, public
Oh, yeah.
places, it's everywhere, so you have a free
Yeah.
phone.
All right. That's WhatsApp. Number 5, Angry Bird Seasons. Yay. Number 4, Cut the Rope. Number 3, Doodle Jump. Number 2, Fruit Ninja, and number 1, Angry Birds. You know what I actually was kind of surprised I didn't see on this list was Max and its magic marker. That was a pretty cool little game, guys. I don't know, like about you if y'all played it.
That one I
Max?
have not heard of, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
not heard of that game.
Basically, it was just like you're like this little dude named Max. You're running along, and like you come up to this obstacle, and you had a pencil. Like your finger was a pencil, and you would have to draw, like like a bridge or draw like stairs, so he can, and then you would jump him up the stairs to get to the next stair.
So
It was
you-
it was it was a
You
really
build
cool
your own
class.
pathway. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can erase it and take it back because once you're out of ink in your pen, you can't draw or your marker, you can't do anything. So you have to go back and pick up
like
the old
refill.
marking. Yeah, refill. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a pretty cool game.
Yes.
Isn't Words with Friends Scrabble?
Kind of. Yeah, pretty much so. It's just an easier Scrabble. Yeah. They just didn't want to. They just didn't want to say Scrabble. Yeah.
It's Scrabble for people like me.
I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get sued for it. But yeah.
Mhm.
And the whole thing Scrabble, like I mean, the real Scrabble on the actual iPhone was the full board. Where Words with Friends was like a small, like 10 by 10 board or something like that. I can't remember what it was, or 20 by 20. I can't remember. There's a ton of free apps. But everybody knows the free apps. It's going to be your Facebook, Pandora's, Instagram, YouTube, Skype, Weather Channel, Twitter, Temple Run. I hated that game. I just hated it. Google search, Netflix, Shazam, Draw Something, Flashlight, Facebook Messenger, Google for Earth, iHeartRadio. I mean, these are all basic like functional apps, not really games. So
Must-have apps
Yeah.
for any touchscreen mobile device nowadays.
Yeah.
all right, guys. We were talking earlier in regards to communities that we wanted to help, not only for the communities that we're a part of, such as our our Nerds and Coffee group, the gamers, the people that come in and watch our podcasts, the people that come in and watch the live stream, or the people that come in and subscribe, like, and watch our YouTube videos. Those are people that support us, with what we do, or what we're trying to accomplish. However, we're working for a different type of community, trying to help them out. As you can see on my screen here, to my right is a video that I have on YouTube right now, and it's listed as Razor Death Adder giveaway, but it gives a full spiel on what we're doing. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up within this podcast, because right now, at this exact moment, I'm going to ask a specific question where you can get 3 extra raffle tickets. And what are these raffle tickets going to help you get? Well, that Razor Death Adder. We're going to do the raffle on May the 10th, which is also, once again, Roennev's birthday. But you're going to get 3 extra raffle tickets if you can tell me via Twitch or somewhere in a private message to me. It has to be a private message. You can't just blurt it out on the board. You have to do it by a private message. What hat is Dekryption wearing? If I ask what hat I'm wearing, they're all gonna be like, "Oh, it's an Atlanta Braves hat," because they see me wear this hat. They've never seen Dekryption wear this hat. So, Dekryption's hat. If you can tell me what hat he's wearing in a private message, either on Twitch or somewhere. I don't know how else you, I mean, I guess you can do it on raid
Raid
call
call?
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
raid call too. So
Twitch,
Yeah,
the
Facebook
YouTube
private
channel.
messaging,
yeah,
or the Nerds and Coffee group.
that's gonna be 3 extra raffle tickets. Now, what are we doing this for? To gain viewers? Yeah, maybe it's cool. To gain likes, subscriptions on YouTube? Yeah, sure. However, we're also doing this to help out an organization that we decided to start a campaign and fund with. It's rain.org. That information is still going to be in the below info description section. But rain.org is the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, and it's pretty much a charity that helps anybody affected by sexual violence. Now, how are we helping them with our giveaways? You know, to be quite honest, when somebody enters the giveaway and they want to get a better chance of winning the specific item, they're going to be allowed to purchase additional raffle tickets via PayPal. Now, each additional raffle ticket for this specific giveaway is 50 cents for each additional raffle ticket. Now, that 50 cents translates into 2 different parts. 25 cents comes back into the stream for improvements and whatnot. 25 cents goes to rain.org. So 50% of all proceeds coming in for these giveaways is going to go directly to rain.org to help us possibly meet our goal of $25,000 by the end of this year. If you have any questions or you want to ask me something offline, or any one of us, Kage, Dekryption, Roennev, let us know. We'll talk to you specifically in regards to that, and how we have this set up. But it is on our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/mavinked, MAVINKED. Check out the video. If you want to enter the giveaway, you need to be a user on Twitch, guys. You have to actually have a what's it called? A profile on
Username?
Twitch. Yeah, a profile on Twitch, and you'll get a free raffle ticket just by being a Twitch user, I guess, a Twitch member, and following our channel. And then you'll get another free raffle ticket by subscribing and liking and commenting on the YouTube video. So that's 2 right there. And if you answer the question about Dekryption's hat, that's 3 more. That gets you up to 5. Now, mind you, some people have already donated to get additional raffle tickets, and so they're already up there with like 10 to 14 to 12, I believe. And there is a bro deal. There's a nerd deal for you guys. If you buy $5 worth of raffle tickets, you get 2 extra. You buy $10 worth of raffle tickets, you get 5 extra. That wraps it up, guys. 1 hour and 18 minutes later, it is our first episode as a full-blown roundtable. I am Mav.
Roennev.
Kage.
Dekryption.
And we make up the whole NerdsNCoffee.com team for, well, we're on Twitch too, twitch.tv/NerdsNCoffee. We're on nightly, which is U.S. time. We're on 10 p.m. We're working out with maybe somebody else to come on before me or after me, however it works out. But once again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you very soon.